No,
No.
I have not where I live in the United States.
Artificial intelligence I've heard of, but not the rest of it.
I haven't heard about it. I know the AI technology, but not the bots yet.
I don't have any idea because I'm not from New Zealand, but I don't have that technology. Really don't know about it.
I've actually used it as part of my work.
Really, on anything that I know about it, I've seen off of Twitter, really. Don't know a whole load about it.
Not really, no. I mean, I may have heard of it in conversation, but I didn't, because I don't use it, it didn't stick.
I've seen a lot of kind of versions where people ask it questions and it perhaps doesn't want to answer, which probably isn't ideal for the people that have made the app, but or have made the application. But yeah, not a whole load about it. Just the stuff that I've seen online.
Well, I can tell you that I don't know much. Only what I read in the newspaper.
No, I haven't. No.
Not unless it's the one to do with possibility of plagiarising. Is it plagiarising? Yeah, that's about the extent of my knowledge.
As you talk about it, I'm aware of something that's happening in the news, a little bit about that. But bear in mind, I don't have a TV and I don't, so some of these things I'm not up to date with.
I've seen the kind of functionality of it, the fact that it's meant to be open AI. It's meant to give you kind of functional answers for the questions that you're asking it.
Chat, whatever it's called, uses artificial intelligence to provide information.
I've seen people using it to try and kind of create essays of sorts, just to try and create little stories. I've seen people kind of ask it, silly questions just to kind of sort out its functionality. I think everybody wants to know the funny responses it'll give you when you ask certain questions. I think that's the kind of infancy of it, isn't it? People really just trying to find out if it can give you basic information. I guess it'll be very useful when it's fully up and running. I actually tried to activate it the other day. It says it wasn't taking any new users when I went on. It says it wasn't letting you just access it from the internet. I don't know if it was maintenance or what it was doing, but it said, yeah, it wasn't taking anyone on.
Well, it's the artificial intelligence and what they use it for, I must admit, is news to me, but of course I'm a bit behind with these technical matters.
Yeah, I actually think it's quite groundbreaking work, and it enhances, the vision's open to our mind now of what it can be used for. I see it as just like the problem of introducing Google in schools. It's a quick way of finding out the accurate information.
Well, we had to do all our exams without Google, so we had to pay attention to lectures. We had to attend them.
Well, I'm a retired teacher, so I think you should be able to write stuff yourself. I kind of think it's cheating, but I mean, if I was in school and doing other things, maybe I think it's okay. I can see how that could be useful. I worked in a school for 24 years as a school nurse, and I'm not really a fan of having somebody else's work done for them. I can see how it might help them get an idea or tell them how to do it. If it needed to be paragraphs, if it needed to be introductory, if it needed to be a summary, that sort of thing. But I really believe that children should do their own work.
I've seen people online trying to use it for their essays, for the university. I've seen people trying to kind of quote it as well, as if it's a reliable source, which is far from ideal. You're talking to something that is still in its infancy, really. Wouldn't quite put it as a reliable source.
unless there's some kind of repetitive thing that happens that ticks something that will, give you the hint that it was not their work, or if there's some way you could quiz them later to see if they really knew what they did, then yeah, to me it's a little bit of a form of cheating. But if it could be used just for research where they could learn something on their own, but not turn it in for their as their own work, I'm not a fan of that.
I suppose it will have its usefulness, but as for the writing your letters and doing your essays for educational purposes, well, obviously no doubt the readers of the essays will be aware of all this and sort of right at the bottom, have you tried using your own brain?
Rather than forcing students to write an essay on Hamlet, they can access the information about Hamlet whenever they need. So why in schools we would ask students to write essays on things, it's only so that they understand what they're researching.